We'll drink a cup of fucking kindness yet for the sake of all lang fucking Zion. Whoa, Stephen. What the fucking fuck? Sorry to interrupt, but it looks like we've got company. What the fucking Hello, friends. Consider this an addendum, a very special New Year's addendum to recent festivities. Title: The Soul of the Gate? Question mark. Although the Gate's international showbiz reputation is legendary, it has also been said with some conviction that the drama after hours was equal to, or often better than, the alchemy taking place on the stage. And of course, the great Svengali at the centre of all of this, as he was christened by his great friend and sometime antagonist, was the man we were celebrating a little over a fortnight ago. But there is something about his tenure that you might not know. A scandal that has haunted that institution for years. A scandal talked about in hushed tones, gossiped about in the coffee houses, scribbled about by gutter bloggers and quixotic social media addicts, forced by obstinate theatrical omerta to trade only in rumour, innuendo and speculation. Now that all involved are safely beyond sanction, we can finally reveal the great sports betting scandal that nearly derailed the annual Gate Christmas cast crew and front of house ping pong invitational of 2010. A pattern had emerged in in-game betting. Hasty decisions by an overworked actor playing bookmaker betwixt his 3 onstage roles, whose harried state had led him to overlook stratagems fit to break Monte Carlo. In-game odds were oscillating wildly, if you will, ping-ponging between opponents during games, and certain eagle-eyed bettors were unbalancing the books with well-timed wagers. There were even allegations of surrogates and syndicates being operated by the mysterious and demoniacal puppet master. The resulting furore threatened to plunge the tournament into disrepute, and perhaps even delegitimise it entirely in the eyes of world table tennis, thanks to a quiet deal involving a heavily modified bar tab and a bottle of Oban whiskey. No official sanctions were brought, and the matter was put to an uneasy sleep. And now you know where the great Svengali nickname originated. But those Christmas table tennis tournaments driven by Michael, Stephen and Cathal were emblematic of the spirit of mischief, irony and fellowship at those times, usually with Cathal's energies driving the madness. I was lucky enough to overlap with this period and to make my best friends there. To Michael, Cathal may have been Svengali, but to me he was always more in the mould of beloved rugby mastermind Declan Kidney. The affable exterior with a mind working overtime, never revealing his hand and never, especially to management, answering a question directly. He solved problems before they happened and found ways to create esprit de corps even during the prickliest of runs. It's the belief of many who know far better than I that this level of social dexterity and finesse and the ability to create and find common ground with and between the vast array of actors, writers, lovies, eccentrics, braggarts, prima donnas, piss artists, white-collar criminals, beleaguered banjacks and underpaid techies and stage managers and, of course, the odd genius, is a huge part of what kept the place running so smoothly and with such good humour during the tough as well as the good times. I've never heard anyone say a bad word said in earnest about Cathal, either the host or the man, ever. And I don't think that can be said about many people. And of course, as described in lavish and poetical depth by Michael James Ford, I think we will all miss those famous opening night smorgasbords, where renowned gourmands such as Sir Mark O'Regan and Mr. Barry McGovern were known to fast for days in anticipation of the masterful array of cold cuts, French cheese and amuse-bouche to be enjoyed with a complimentary pint or a glass or two of excellent French wine after the post-show note session. On a more serious note, Cathal has, on more than one occasion, being the first and sometimes only person I've turned to for help or advice on serious matters. And he has always had genuine wisdom to offer and been extremely generous with his time and ear. And as we know, I'm by far the only one. While to all of us he is something of a mystery, we know that he has done a lot behind the scenes for many of us here and in the wider theatre circle. A wise word, an introduction, professional or social, or more practical help. Or even just a few extra bar shifts when your agent has stopped answering the phone. He looks after his friends and colleagues. Indeed, even to those of us who have known him for years, Cathal remains full of mystery, many of which will never be solved until his archives are finally unsealed many years hence. For example, what were the magic words he would whisper into the ear of the largest, angriest doormen at Dublin's most exclusive night spots, who would invariably lift the velvet rope and usher us, for free, past the queue? And exactly how many constitute a sum, the collective noun for the lads? And what would it truly mean to prepare to fail, having failed to prepare? And what is the dark and tragic backstory behind that impenetrable Leitrim Coan? Too much? Too nice? No good. But here we must stop and preserve some of that mystery, because Cathal, as befits the vocation he refined in Manhattan and perfected on Cavendish Row over these past decades, is nothing if not discretion personified, and sharing too many tales out of school wouldn't be his style. Rather, as he once quipped when Gate director Michael Colgan, in particularly pugnacious humour, remarked that Cathal was the only figure he'd never had a row with. Let's keep it that way. And so, I would now request that you join me and the boys of the Golden Generation in a virtual round of applause and New Year's goodwill, please, for our colleague, mentor, confidant, and dear friend, the big man, Mr. Cathal Maguire.